Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those joining us for the first time, my name is Avril and welcome to Manawevu, the world of all things African print. Now before I get into it, I'd really like to start by thanking everyone that came through and supported me after I uploaded my first video, which is introducing Manawevu to the world and just sharing what the channel is going to be all about. I appreciate the likes, the comments, and the subscriptions, and I just want to let you know that I appreciate you guys so much. I would really like to thank those that shared their keenness in starting their own channels, and they were just asking me how I went about everything, and I'm not about to call myself an expert. However, your questions, suggestions, input kind of allowed me to take a step back, collect everything together and reflect on my first video and just figure out, what did I do right, what did I do wrong, and where could I, possibly improve. So that kind of encouraged me to put this video together, and today I'll be sharing 5 tips for beginner content creators. I really hope you will enjoy this video and you will find it useful. And if you think that you come across or something you want to share and you don't want to do your own video, please make sure you drop it in the comment section, and let's hope that this video reaches more people and here's to better content creation. So tip number 1, when you're recording your content for YouTube and other platforms, it is very ideal for you to make sure that you set your camera on landscape. I did the rookie mistake of putting my phone on the tripod vertically, because it's basically how I use the phone most of the time. So in my head, I thought that after recording all the content, editing it, and when it's time for me to upload it on YouTube, there'd be a tab somewhere where I'd click, fit screen on landscape, how it pretty much works in Microsoft Word. I learned the hard way that it doesn't really work the same way with images because it affects the quality. So my first video was me, a tiny blurb in the center of the screen with 2 dark columns next to me. It wasn't a good look, but it was okay for a first try, and I just let it go. However, when you use landscape, it really does take up some space and allows you to shine and enjoy your 5 minutes of fame in other people's homes. Tip number 1, always make sure that when you're taking content, your phone is on landscape and not like this. Tip number 2, content is king. So before you start your channel, I urge you to just take a step back and ask yourself, what am I about? What is this channel going to be about? That way you can research along those lines, do some planning, a lot of practicing, and then you can execute. If it's well thought, if your content is thought through and it's something people really want, you will definitely find your tribe. I had people asking me, what can I do on my channel? And unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that. I don't have a one-size-fits-all answer. In my case, it was very easy for me to decide what I want my channel to be about, because it was an add-on to an already existing business. So it's more of a marketing tool. Do I want to make money off YouTube? Not necessarily, but if I do make some money out of it, trust me, it's all about trying to get multiple streams of income, right? But don't make money the sole objective of you starting a channel. Just make sure you're doing something you absolutely love. That way you keep it going and keep it moving with or without the money, right? So just make sure you have your ducks in a row before you get into it, and make sure that you're giving people, content that is relevant. And as much as content is king, so is aesthetics. For me, aesthetics really refers to how you package your content for the people or for the audience. In my first video, I shot it late afternoon and I relied extensively on artificial lighting, and it was okay, but really didn't look as good. So if you're shooting content, make sure you make the absolute use of natural lighting. Position yourself in front of the light and start shooting from there. It just makes everything look brighter, it makes it pop and much more livelier. So sure you use as much natural lighting as much as possible. Another thing that is important with regards to your presentation is the reduction of clutter. That your space is clear, there's no noise in the in the background, in front of you, and that way people are focused on the subject matter. If you're cooking, your food will be the subject. If you are sewing, your material will be the subject, which will be something I do on a regular. And if it's, like sharing tips, I am the subject. So I do clear a lot of clutter and make sure that people get to focus on me. Another thing you have to be very conscious of is noise. In my first video, I had the TV playing in the background. I had the boys making noise and I could really hear them. And a random neighbor decided to play music very loud. I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but after I then listened to the first video I'd taken, I realized that, it's not something that you can put up there. So when you are shooting your content, make sure you are in a very quiet place and make sure that there's little distraction and noise as much as possible. So in terms of aesthetics, make sure that you're focusing on great lighting, you have less clutter around you, and very little to no little noise will be most ideal. Right. Tip number 4 is time. You need to be very aware before you start that you're going to be investing a lot of time in making the channel work. When you're doing your research and planning, that is a lot of time that you're going to take. When you are planning and practicing, talking to yourself in the mirror once you have a script and talking points, that is a lot of time that you're going to use. And when you're actually executing, you may think it's very easy, because I thought it was also easy before I started. It's actually not that easy. But it gets better with time. Even when you have your script and you're shooting your content, you need an average 3 to 5 takes. Maybe that's just me, but that is also time that you're going to be using. And even after you've executed and you have a video, you will also use a lot of time to edit the video. The first time I tried using InShot, that didn't quite work well for me. I went through a couple of apps and I finally found Filmmaker, which works better for me. And to edit a 15-minute video took me around about 2 hours. And once I had the video that I was happy with, I didn't know that I have to migrate it from the app to my phone before I can upload it on via YouTube Studio. And that alone took about 4 hours. It could be because I'm using free apps, but it's something that you need to be very aware of. And in those 4 hours, you pretty much can't do anything with your phone. You just, let it there and let it migrate or move the content from the app to the phone. So yeah, that's just really a lot of time. So bottom line, just make sure you're doing something that you love. And if you love what you're doing, you won't really mind the amount of time you use into it. And still, speaking of time, if you want to then capitalize on the natural lighting, you need to be conscious of when you have great lighting in your setting. In my apartment, I have great lighting from around about 10 to 2 p.m. So I have to also work around those hours when I want to shoot content. So these are the things that you need to factor in when you are thinking of starting your own channel, right? It does seem like a lot, but once you actually start doing it, it's really not that bad. So don't be discouraged by any of this. Tip number 5 is equipment. I got questions with regards to what equipment can I use to start creating my content. And I think I just like to state this fact. I generally don't like spending money unless I absolutely need to spend it. So I just use the phone. That was also a gift from my husband. I didn't buy that. And a tripod that I got in China Mall. I went there and I was seeing tripods for $500, $750, $1,500, $2,000 even, and I was about to just walk out there because I just thought it was just too much for a stand, until I walked into this random shop that sells makeup, and they had tripods with a ring light going for $300. I had hit the jackpot, and I was actually afraid as I was going to the till, because I thought they'd be like, oh yeah, sorry, there's been a mistake. But no, it was actually $300. And as I was leaving, I was like, this thing is cheap. It's probably gonna break. But it hasn't broken. It's still there and it's working. So that's also what I have, a tripod with a ring light. However, I have discovered that I may need a mic. Because if you don't have a mic, it's like you have to shout into your camera so that your voice is audible, and it does really strain the voice. So, I mean, it's locked down now, and I mean, looking for a mic is not exactly essential. So, it's something I've parked for now, and I know I will definitely look into getting a mic once the lockdown has been lifted. But for now, I'll have to shout into the camera and just, see how it goes. So, if you're looking for the equipment that you need to start with, just start with your phone, a stand. If you don't have a stand, maybe like a stack of books or something that holds your camera steady, and a mic if you don't have a loud voice. But if you're loud like me, you can make your voice work until you get it together. So yeah, those are the tips I have, guys. 5 simple beginner tips for content creators. Just keep it simple and it will just make your life easier. Don't overthink a lot of things, just go with the flow, and most importantly, make sure that you're doing something that you enjoy. So, that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really find this video useful. If there's anyone who's going to take these tips on as they're creating their content, do let me know. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. So that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.